Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome to Civilization 6 A to Z, where I will go through each of the civilizations one by one and provide thoughts, strategy, and rankings. Today we will look at China, which is a civilization that is very focused on getting a bunch of ancient and classical wonders to strengthen its position for the rest of the game. China's leader is Qin Shi Huan, and he has two main bonuses. First, his builders receive an additional charge. If you can get the Pyramids wonder, you can actually have up to 8 builder charges with Liang as a governor and one of the 2 policies that gives you 2 extra builder charges. Consider picking up the Royal Society in the late game to rush build space parts for a science victory push. His second bonus is that you can spend builder charges to complete 15% of the production cost for ancient and classical wonders. You could actually swap to the wonder you are building each turn and build something else for the 7 turns it takes to rush the wonder. I personally wouldn't advise this, however, since unlike the districts that the Aztec can rush, wonders are highly competitive and you will likely want the builders to supplement your normal production instead of being the sole production for a wonder. The only way I would advise using pure builder rushing is if you have several builders with only 1 charge left and can rush it to completion in a single turn. The overall scores for these bonuses is as follows. Domination, I would give it an 8. Not only are there several good wonders for domination, but you also save a lot of production that you can instead spend on military units when you are done rushing a wonder. Science, I would give it a 9. If you're going for a science victory, focus on rushing Great Library as soon as possible to get the maximum bonus from it. Also, the extra builder charge can help rush late game space parts as well. Culture, I would give it a 9. There are several good culture victory wonders, but all wonders are good for a culture victory since all of them provide a little bit of tourism. If you're going for a culture victory, build as many wonders as you can fit in. And finally, religion, I would give it a 7. If you want to go for a religion victory, beeline Stonehenge and you should be able to rush it before anyone else, even on higher difficulties. China's civilization ability is called Dynastic Cycle. Eureka's and Inspirations provide 50% of the cost for civics and technologies instead of 40%. If you weren't already pushing for Eurekas and Inspirations, you definitely want to push for as many as possible with China. If China has a perfect game where they're able to get every single Eureka and Inspiration, the boost actually adds up to almost 17% boost to both culture and science. To put this into perspective, this boost is almost double the boost that either Korea or Scotland gets. Overall scores for this ability are as follows. Domination, I would give it a 6. Getting technology and civics faster can only help your domination push. Science and culture both get 10s here. This is a massive boost to both science and culture, though you will want to make sure to get as many boosts as possible to take advantage of it. And religion gets a 4. Getting technology and civics faster will help religion a little bit as well. China's unique unit is called the Crouching Tiger. It has a high range strength of 50, but it has a short range of only 1. This unit is not that great offensively, but is almost unstoppable on defense. I would still advise mixing in a few crossbowmen to your offensive force. Overall scores for this unit, I would give Domination a 6. It's just not that great of a unit to be perfectly honest, but it's still pretty strong on the defense. China's unique infrastructure is called the Great Wall. It has 4 main bonuses. First, occupying units receive +4 defense strength and automatically gain 2 turns of fortification. The defensive bonus is the same as a fort, but it comes up sooner. Consider putting some sections of the Great Wall up in strategic locations and placing Crouching Tiger units along it to have a powerful defensive barrier. The second bonus is that you get +1 gold for each adjacent Great Wall with the Masonry tech. You probably aren't building this improvement for the gold alone, but it's a nice extra to make working the tile a bit more worthwhile. The third bonus is that you get +1 culture for each adjacent Great Wall with castles. It's unlikely this bonus will make working the tile worth it unless you are specifically going for a culture victory. And finally, the Great Wall gains bonus tourism with the flight technology if providing culture and when worked by a city. This bonus isn't directly tied to the Great Wall. Actually, all improvements that provide culture get this tourism bonus, but it definitely applies to the Great Wall as well. If you're working the tile for the culture bonus because you're going for a culture victory, then adding in the tourism with flight is an obvious upgrade to the bonus and could add it to quite a bit of tourism if you have a lot of wild tiles built. The overall scores for this tile improvement are: Domination, I would give it a 3. It can operate like a fort, but is more restricted on where it can be built than the fort. Science, I would give it a 0. There's just really nothing here that helps science. Culture, I would give it a 5. If you're going for a culture victory, these tiles could be worth working, though they don't get the culture, let alone the tourism bonuses until fairly late in the game. And finally, religion, you get a 0 here. Again, there's nothing here that's going to help your religion, really. The overall strategy for China is, if you're playing as them, there are 2 main ways to play as China. Either determine at the start of the game which victory you want to pursue and focus solely on getting the wonders to support it, or alternatively, get as many ancient and classical wonders as you can and then assess what victory you are best set up for as you enter the medieval era. Try to get your second and third cities up as soon as possible so that at least one of your cities can produce wonders and not slow down everything else. It is still worth chopping forests or other resources as China if you have Magnus as a governor in the city, but I would suggest saving your chops for wonders after you get past the classical age, since you can no longer rush those with your builder charges. As mentioned previously, you will want to focus on getting inspirations and Eurekas as China even more than you may normally with other civilizations, but you also want to balance this with beelining towards specific wonders that you want to build for your victory goal. As for governments, for the 4-card slot, I would recommend Autocracy for the plus 10% production towards wonders. This may seem odd since you will be rushing a large part of your wonders, but unless you can rush it to completion in a single turn, you are still competing with other civs and the 10% can still make a difference. Also, early on, the +1 to all yields for your capital is also pretty strong since most of your ancient and classical wonders are likely to be built there. For the 6-card slot, I would actually go Merchant Republic here since you likely delay district production to build early wonders and the extra production boost can help you catch up a bit. And for the 8-card slot, it really depends on which victory you decide to go with. Though I would normally suggest communism or democracy if you're going for a science victory, don't forget that fascism's plus 20% unit production works for builders as well if you're planning to take advantage of China's extra build to rush space parts. If you're playing against China, their leader agenda is called Wall of 10,000 Li. They build wonders whenever possible and like civilizations with few wonders. They dislike civilizations with more wonders than them. It's actually fairly easy to play nice with China, just don't build very many wonders and he will like you quite a bit. If you plan to go after China, try to wait until after the classical era is over so that when you conquer him, you can get all of the wonders he was able to rush build. Obviously, if you're attacking him during the medieval era, be careful to avoid his Crouching Tiger units. It should be fairly easy to stay away from the Crouching Tiger's one range though. Just use your longer range crossbowmen and siege units in conjunction with some cavalry harass units to take them out. As for victory condition, China's best victory condition is either science or culture victory. China's Eureka and inspiration boost help push it towards one of these victories. That being said, wonders can make such a difference to the overall game that if you were able to get the right wonders, China could make a decent push for any of the victory types. Where do they rank overall? For domination, I would give them a 6. I'm actually not even really considering China's unique unit for this score. The science boost that China has combined with some key military wonders can make a domination push feasible. For science, they get an 8. China is very well suited to a science victory. I would recommend focusing on getting pyramids and the Great Library if you're considering a science victory push. For culture, they get a 9. The main reason culture gets a slight edge over science is because all the wonders help culture to some degree, where science only benefits from a few select ones. The Great Wall is unlikely to be better than most of the other improvement options for a specific tile, but it might be worth replacing some weaker improvements in the late game once you get flight to start getting a bit of extra tourism. And religion, I would give them a 4. With some of the key wonders such as Stonehenge, Jebel Barkal, and Mahabodhi Temple, there's no reason China couldn't make a religious push, but this is by far its weakest choice compared to the other options. What are your thoughts? Did I get it right? Did I miss something? Please let me know what you think in the comments below, and also please give me a thumbs up if you do like this video and want to see more of these. I do plan to keep these going, so I do appreciate you watching, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye.